Welcome to Navigating the Truth, and today's date is August 13th, 2023, and my guest is Willow Tumblety, and we're having a conversation. Enjoy the show.
Right.
We interrupt to bring you this.
We've hijacked your daily dose of regurgitated news to bring you Navigating the Truth. Brace yourself, listeners, as you're about to enter a world where the narrative is no longer masqueraded as the truth. A world where the conspiracies of yesterday's translate into the truths of today.
Are you listening?
The veils covering the truth are lifting, and understandings once suppressed are finally being revealed. Will you be ready? And now, your host and navigator through these circles of lies, the host of Navigating the Truth, Caroline Bell Tumblety.
Hi, welcome to Navigating the Truth on this lovely Sunday. It is the 13th of August, and it has been a pleasant day. I mean, it's been kind of overcast, but I can see some blue peeping out through the clouds, and I hope you're all having a great day, whatever time. I thank the listeners who have chosen to listen in today. Thank you so much. And there is a donate button on the website. If you like what you're hearing on KCR Radio, hit the donate button. There are a lot of wonderful hosts, excellent guests, and so many shows. And yeah, so like sign yourself up for the Dark Vault or hit the donate button. And my website is souliam.org. You know, I don't really know. Like, I've had to do a couple of different things to my website. And I think I had one visitor in like a space of 2 weeks. Whereas prior to doing these updates that I guess Google and for their the algorithm that they use, I had to update everything and transfer it. Whereas before I was getting like between 100, 200, 300, 400 visitors like every week. Now I'm down to one. Nothing coming from the US, coming from any other part of the world. It's just here in Scotland. So don't really know what that's about. And I have a YouTube channel. It is Caroline Bell Tumblety. And I upload the videos like for the show. I usually put like a 30-minute, 40-minute, and then the link to KCOR Radio. And I'm actually going to start posting like little live, like 10-minute things when I've got something to say. I'm also on Facebook, Caroline Bell Tumblety. I check on to it maybe twice a week, sometimes 3 times. I don't really like Facebook, but I do check it. And today I have an awesome guest. I have my most favourite person in all the world. I have my daughter here. I have Willow Tumblety. So,
hello.
Welcome, Willow. Welcome. Hi. Nice to hear your voice.
Oh, thank you. It's been too long.
Yeah. How are you doing?
Yeah. I'm not bad.
Maybe. Yeah, that's too long. You're not bad?
Yeah.
So I have little Milo sitting here looking at me, wondering. And for the listeners, Milo is he's 1 year old, and he has been with us now for, what are we getting into, 3 weeks? In addition to the household, we have a tabby, and
yes.
I've never had a tabby before. Had a bobcat. We back in the day had all kinds of cats, but this is the first tabby, and he's a character.
Oh God, he is.
He's staring at me, thinking I'm talking to myself. Yeah, he's like, he's just staring there. Anyway, that's enough about Milo. But he's adorable. I just love him.
Yes, yeah. It's great to have a cat in the house again. It's been a while.
Well, I tell people that you're a pet cat. Like, yeah. I mean, when you were born, like I think was it Leia? Yeah. Oh, our cats were all named after Star Wars characters. So we had the Princess Leia, and she had just had a couple of kittens right around the same time that you were born, Willow. And so you had always had cats around you. They were always there. So I think you're Pat Cat Hen, Adi. And hen is a term of endearment we use here in Scotland. Hen actually just means darling or sweetheart. For anybody who didn't didn't they know? I know. See, the longer I'm here, the more my dialect's coming back. The more.
I mean, you hear me all the time.
Mhm.
You and Callum make fun of me for it because sometimes I'll let an OI slips out.
You can't help it. Well, you want to be understood, and you want to kind of like. That's always been my thing, Like you want to speak the language of the natives, kind of thing, in order to communicate. I think it's a good idea. They have a little bit of a different accent in this area, a little different dialect on the coast for the day in the city. Like Glasgow has a really strong dialect. I think it's deliberate so that nobody would understand us. I think it was because the band is speaking the Gaelic when they passed the laws, so we kind of made a mockery of the English language that the English couldn't understand us. Yeah, something like that. Maybe not. Maybe we just were bad speakers. I don't know.
No, I like that, but it was a way to stick it to them.
I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was. Like they wouldn't let us wear our colours, which was our tartans, and we were forbidden to use our language. And that was when, 1600s. Actually, it wasn't that. There was also a law in the 1800s.
Yeah, I was about to say.
It wasn't that long ago.
It continued for a long time.
It was. I'm glad to see that it's. But you know what happens? Generations, the older generations who only spoke Gaelic and only wore their tartan, they would have passed existence and not being able to pass on like their knowledge. Like this is what happens, and then your history books get tweaked and dates get changed. Supposedly, and I don't know if this is true, like when they moved feel like the Gregorian calendar to or it was the other way around, the Julian calendar to the Gregorian, like there's all these different calendars. We lose years. I think sometimes we lose like hundreds of years. Like which again would bring you to the history that the dates are not really right. Even at this point, how do we really find the truth?
Yeah.
How do you find the truth, when the records have been changed, when people's last names have been changed? It's a bit a cluster, so it is. But there are some really cool books. There are some cool books. Like I'm reading a book right now that is was Merlin in Scotland.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
It's full of all these wee historical kind of tidbits, and the stories are actually really, really cool. And they've done some research, so which means I can go and I can look up the references and kind of see where they got their information from. So, but again, it's treaded water. You're treading water. Like how much it has been changed, how much it is, and it could just be the case of a date, that's been changed. But that's enough. That's enough. What I had started to rely on was like events, like disasters, like volcanoes. If they went off at a certain time in history, I would start to look for what other cultures, like other places on the realm, what they were saying at that time. Like, did they know that there was a volcano? You know what I mean? And that way you get like a better picture. At least America and firsthand. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, we call the show Navigating the Truth, but I don't know. Should we be navigating lies?
That's the thing. Like, it's so easy to lie, and just because it's written down, how do you know it's actually a first account and it's just not someone just making this stuff up?
Yeah.
We stumble upon these journal entries, and they're dated to the same time, but it could just be someone just faking it. People lie all the time.
They sure do. When I was a kid, I didn't think people lied. That put me at a terrible disadvantage.
Especially grown-ups. I thought the grown-ups had to tell the truth.
I thought they told the truth. Yeah, I did. Yeah. God, I remember you. It was me and you having a conversation, and it had to do with some of the woo-woo stuff that I have been involved in. And that's right, you had a migraine headache. I think you were maybe 17, and I wanted to do some energy work on you, and you let me. and you had said to me, "Oh, it's great, it's gone." And it was when we were in Puerto Rico. Do you remember this conversation?
Not
Like,
really.
I had offered to do energy work on you again, and you went, "I don't believe in that stuff." And I went, "What?"
Oh yeah, like since when? I was like, since always. I've just told you that.
And I was like, "Well, why did you say a word?" Like, I was like, I don't think I was really upset. I was more kind of shocked. You lied
like,
to
what?
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, to
Well,
each their
yeah.
own, right? To each their
Well,
own.
people lie about the dumbest stuff. You had told me someone had said that they carried around a bottle of hot sauce wherever they went,
Oh
and that
yeah,
was a lie. And it's like, why
yeah.
would you
I think
lie
that was
about
Hillary
that?
Clinton, and it had to do with
Whoever it
some sort
was.
of promotion. I can't remember, but yeah, you were getting
I was just
caught
like,
out in that
why?
one, lady. You know,
Just like, why would you
hold
lie
me your
about
bag.
that?
Show me. Well, lying. You know, I remember having a conversation years ago with somebody, and they were saying, "Well, it's only a white lie," and I remember going, "A lie's a lie," you know.
Yeah.
And they were like, but if I do it like to protect your feelings, and I'm like, a lie's a lie. Why don't you let me worry about my feelings? And it was a big, long, drawn out conversation we had, and it was really, really difficult, like to get this person to see that a lie was a lie. Didn't matter if you called it white, black, to avoid somebody's feelings. And I get that. I do get
Yeah.
that. I do get that. And a lot of times I'd just rather not say anything.
Yeah.
You know, maybe that's kind of cowardly, but I've always had a big mouth, and that's been part of just who I am. Like, I usually call it out, I usually say it. Not being liked for it, but don't care. You know, I really just don't care. And the older I get, the less I care. So that's
Yeah.
actually beneficial for me, you know? Like, I just don't care. But yeah, lies.
Yes. Yeah.
I
Well,
knew I
that's
wanted
one
to
of the
sing a
things
song.
that
Yeah.
that's one of the things we talk about in yoga is like one of the kind of commandments is that you're supposed to be honest, but you're supposed to also be kind. And oftentimes when we're truthful, it can be unkind. And there's a saying that honesty without tact is cruelty.
Yeah.
So it's like you can be honest, but you can be nice about it. And I think there's some things that you can leave out. That you don't always have to say everything 100% of the time.
No, you don't. You don't. Well, the whole honesty with tact, I think that actually comes, like, it becomes like part of your character because you spend so much time thinking about what it is that you want to say before you say it. And I have delivered some really heavy stuff in the past, and I've done it in such a way where the other person didn't get upset with me like they were, which was, I wish I could do that more often, you know? But
Well, it's
yeah,
also, I think it's also hard when like when you're trying to be honest about someone, it's hard not to take that personally. So even if you're trying to be honest, saying like, "Oh, I don't like it when you do this," that person can take it in such a way that it's like, "Well, you're attacking my character."
yeah.
So it's like it's such delicate waters, and humans are so strange.
Sensitive. A lot of them are
Yes, very
sensitive.
sensitive.
Yeah.
Which is not a bad thing.
No, it's not. No, in this day and age, I think it's actually
Mm-hmm.
a really good quality right now. It'll keep you, what would you say? Keep you, I don't know. But yeah, the whole dynamics of relationships. And I mean, I go on about like the media and like certain outlets. They have no problem. It just rolls right off their tongue. They have no problem. And I'm not even happy about like a lot of the justification that goes behind it. Like that they have to mislead you in order to deliver the truth. No, why don't you just start with the truth? You know?
Yeah.
Why don't you just start with that? And then there's the other thing, like certain factions will say, well, people can't really handle the truth. Like who the heck are you to decide what people can handle or not. I mean, look at the world, folks. You know, like,
Yeah.
your secret this, your secret that, what is it? The three-letter organizations that were supposedly set up for defense. I mean, turning on their own people, selling them down the river. You know, like, everybody is cannon fodder. Oh wow, I'm going to, like, stop me.
No, continue.
Going on a rant. Nah, like,
No,
the things that I
easy to
say
get,
have been said. Yep.
yeah, but it's like it's easy to get mad about this stuff because it's like it's been happening for so long,
Hmm.
and it just keeps happening.
Yeah. 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 I don't know. Like, you know, like think of a scenario, right? Like, if we actually did have beings for another planet come and visit us, what do you think they would make it all?
Oof, I think they would. I feel like they would still think that we're prehistoric. We have not got anything figured out. They'd be like, they'd take one look at us and they'd be like, they are not even remotely ready.
Yeah, but
Like,
is that
I feel like
actually
we're still going
accurate,
around with
or
clubs.
is that the surface? Gone around with clubs.
Like, I feel like that must be how we seem sometimes.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, as a society, we're mad about the dumbest stuff.
I know. Name something. What is one of the dumb things we get mad about?
How about, like, comic book characters not being cast the way that the way fans specifically saw this character? Like, someone different has been cast, and
Yeah.
suddenly it's been review bombed. It's been like there's so many discussions about this character, and it's like, why do we care this much?
Well, that was something that happened with the Cleopatra, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was like a split between people who were like, nah, that's not right. She shouldn't be looking the way that she's looking, and then the other was going, yeah, she should. Yeah, why do people care? You know?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's dumb.
Like, our history is not really accurate anyway. So, and also, like, even the DNA testing, like, on, what was it, King Tut. I mean, they still don't tell the truth about that. You know, like, they still, like, well, he was maybe this, and he was maybe that. And then they even do reconstruction of his face, and I don't even know anybody that ever looked like that face. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
It's
I
just
just
silly
don't know.
stuff,
I think
and I feel like
yeah,
it's
so
low
stupid.
intelligence kind of stuff. Like, we're wasting our energy on these discussions when we could actually be solving things.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, the planet goes through different cycles of warming and up, like cooling down. I mean, for as long as they have been keeping track of these things, but that's another thing. They don't even tell the truth about that. I mean, they knew that like, when I think about Louisiana, the Katrina thing that happened, they knew that could flood.
Yeah.
But they did not fix it. They didn't fix the levees. You know, it's the same way people living at the base of a volcano. It's going to erupt at some point, you know. But see this, what I saw in Hawaii. Did you look at the footage of that fire?
I haven't seen any footage, but I've been hearing some of the stories are horrible.
It is absolutely horrendous, and like, the words that they used to what was it, apocalyptic or war zone was the other one that they were using. But I tell you, that had to have been fierce, that fire, because it burnt everything down, like everything, like the fabric of the cars, like, inside them, like, they're just down to, like, ash, like metal. And I don't know, what kind of fire have you seen that does that? You know?
Well,
I mean,
some of those, like, brush fires got out of control, like in the desert and stuff.
I know. There's a lot of
like,
fires going on.
I remember it would be so hard to contain them once they've started.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, I come back to, they know this stuff happens. Why are they not prepared? Had plenty of time to be prepared. We know forestry is it's a care job. You got to go in there and care for it. You got to clean up. You got to take down. In an ideal situation, a tree should be allowed to die in its spot and come down on its own.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not the kind of world that we live in.
Yeah.
That we have to. We have a lot of campers. We have a lot of people that don't pay attention.
Mm-hmm. And
the thing is, we know this stuff can happen. Be prepared. Why not be prepared? Why just why let people? See, when I think about Katrina and how that was such a weird storm to that cut everybody off in New Orleans. It was just.
Oh yeah.
And we've had quite a few since then, like tornadoes, cyclones, tsunamis. We have a lot of weather anomalies going on. Scotland's kind of famous for its weather. If you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes, it will change.
Yeah.
We can get 4 seasons in a one day. I always figured it was a longitude, latitude, where we were. Mm-hmm. And also the fact that we're an island, we're surrounded by water. And that in itself can affect your temperature and your Yeah. You're just letting me ramble on here.
Well, isn't that the point?
Yeah. Well, this is the world that we're in right now. This is what we're witnessing. Mm-hmm. And this is the stuff that is going on. And it's almost like all these stories, there was a whole thing about it after Nigel Farage came out about his bank account being closed. Turns out there was something like 1 million people in the past 4 years have had their bank accounts closed, right here in Britain. And now that the spotlight's being shone on it, there's, the government is useless. Jeremy Hunt wrote a letter to NatWest saying, we don't really like your policies and these weren't set up for you to do this kind of thing. But you know what? Why do we have them? Why do we have government if they cannot even take care of the simplest things, that people's rights to have a bank account, for crying out loud? It's the mind police, the thought police. Yeah. I don't like you because you said this, or I don't like you because you voted for that. Did we really? When did we become this petty? When did we become this uneducated? This dumb.
Well, it's such a weird combination of a nanny state where they're holding your hand through every single thing, but at the same time it's like a dog eat dog world where no one's in this together. You're on your own.
Mm-hmm. All right, hold that thought, Willow. Hold that thought. We're coming up on a break, and we will be right back in 3 minutes, listeners.
You're listening to Navigating the Truth with Caroline Bell Tumblety, where the truth survives and the lies are exposed.
I just want to assure you that everything is under control. There's been no damage except for some temporary malfunction of the radio.
Come be a part of this awakening by joining us in chat or by calling our hotline at 702-425-9230. That's 702-425-9230. Worldwide callers, find us on Skype at KCOR Radio.
We're pushing the ultimate frontier here.
Control must be maintained.
More disinformation exposed and the truth discovered. After a word from our sponsors.
1 million miles till midnight. A story of timelines, artificial worlds, simulated races, and the galactic imprint. And the destiny of a blue world called Earth. 1 million miles till midnight, written by Solaris Blue Raven, is a journey through the mind's eye which allows the reader to surf a wave of technological and multidimensional intellect, revealing a bridge between conscious design and the truth. A multidimensional bleed-through awakens the world of artificial intelligence to set sail into the frontiers of a vast multiverse, morphing planets and terraforming ascended worlds beyond the linear programs of a fated race. 1 million miles till midnight will awaken, inspire, prepare, and enlighten one to the many multidimensional states of consciousness and worlds we reside in. With every cell and atom, we are this truth and multiverse. 1 million miles till midnight. Written by Solaris Blue Raven. Available now at Amazon.com. Don't wait. Get your copy today.
1, 2, 3, 4!
To the KCOR Digital Radio Network.
I love the way it sounds. Love the music. I listen all day.
The future of radio is here and now.
Alien Deceptions, a suspenseful sci-fi romance thriller by Tina Marie, featuring the tantalizing Erica Jones and the mysterious Russell Hamilton. An out-of-this-world book of fiction based on years of document facts and files the government does not want you to know about, at least not yet. Alien Deceptions by Tina Marie. Available now at Amazon.com or get a signed copy at TinaMarieEntertainment.com. Get your copy now.
Change your frequency, change your life with the Lemurian Plug. The Lemurian Plug is easy to control, simple to set up, and wireless. It helps to neutralize toxins and has restorative frequencies for healing. It also helps to protect you and your family from EMFs. The Lemurian Plug is energy efficient and designed using ancient technology for a superior design. One unit can cover up to 1,000 square feet. This life-changing product is reasonably priced. And isn't your family's health worth a small investment? For more information on the miraculous effects of this plug or to purchase the Lemurian Plug, visit thelemurianplug.com. That's thelemurianplug.com. The Lemurian Plug is like nothing you've ever experienced. Order yours today.
Vegas, baby!
Vegas' #1 source for talk and new music.
How cool is that?
Going live in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to Navigating the Truth, the one show that peels back the masks of the elite and exposes the truth we're not being told.
Here to warn you.
You must not abuse the power you've been given. Eventually, you will lose control of that power and the whole world will suffer.
Come partake in the awakening by calling the show at 702-425-9230. That's 702-425-9230.
Give us a call now.
Those around the world, connect with us on Skype at KCOR Radio. Follow us on Twitter at KCOR Radio or use hashtag KCOR. Come engage in the discussion live in our chat room at www.kcorradio.com.
Our survival depends upon it.
Now, back to examining the narratives and uncovering the truth with your host of Navigating the Truth, Caroline Bell Tumblety. Caroline Bell Tumblety.
Navigating the Truth, and I thank you listeners for choosing to listen in. And I have my daughter here today who has joined me. We're just having a cup of tea and a chat about world events. So welcome back, Willow.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I go into a rant when I start talking about like injustice and unfairness and my heart really does go out to the people in Hawaii. Like, yeah. But you are coming up on your teacher's training is going to start back up again. I think it's next month. How are you feeling about that?
I'm kind of terrified for it. I'll be starting my yoga teacher's training 200-hour course. I had started to do it last year and had to drop out about halfway through the course due to some weird medical stuff. So giving it another go, and hopefully it turns out.
Yeah, and I got to get Steph back on again. Like,
yeah, she's fantastic.
She really is, and I have noticed, and I noticed in the class that she's kind of gearing it like for you.
Yeah,
For a lot of the positions that you will be like trained on.
Mm-hmm.
What was it you did last week? It was the wheel.
I did the wheel, which is one where you start in like the glute bridge pose, and then you'll lift yourself off. So you have your hands up by your head, and you lift yourself off. So it's your body's in like a U shape, and it was always really, really tough because my upper back would be completely screwed up, and really, really tight. So I could never do it, but I did it this time, and Steph came up to me after class, and she was like, "I saw you do the wheel. It was amazing."
She was so happy. She was so happy. Yeah. You know that wheel pose is actually is it Mat and Egyptian hieroglyphs? She bends over like the world. Yeah, that's a yoga position. Yeah, she's yeah, like she's very important, like in their story at that time. Yeah, Matt. Yeah, she's
I like that.
Yeah, it's really cool. You will see it like there's a lot of positions in the hieroglyphs. So there is and yet yoga traditionally comes from Asia, right? It's
India.
Yeah, but see, this is what I mean about the history, you know? I get the feeling that we all lived. Have you ever seen one of my favourite paintings is a painting of the Druids by a Scottish artist. His name will Duncan. His name will come back to me. But the painting itself, they're not all white, you know? They're different shades of brown. And some are darker, some are lighter. Like they have, which indicates that we did live like this, you know, at some point in time. It's no a new thing, like to have different nationalities or cultures living, like in New York City, you know, like you have Little Italy, you have Chinatown, but it's a big melting pot.
Yeah.
I think
sorry.
we have I believe that. I believe that we were like that many times before in our history.
Well, it was like what was it called? The Cradle of Life, which is like kind of that. It's kind of like an intersection between a lot of the continents, like Africa, Asia, and Europe, and it was like right kind of around the Mediterranean and some of the other river systems there. And that's like they say that that's where a lot of life started, and that would have been a complete melting pot.
Well, that's the other thing about life starting, you know, like even that, like we have multiple different stories about that, like how life came to be here, you know. I mean, look at the amount of different species of animal we have here.
Yeah.
Right?
And yet, what is it? Something like 90% of all life on Earth died in the Great Extinction. So all the different animals that we see are just made up of the 10% that lived. That's wild.
So they say.
Well, yeah.
I know. So that's what they say. Yeah. Yeah, but it is wild. I mean, that's what I mean. Like, I remember, like, somebody held up a yardstick or, like, a meter stick and was telling me, like, okay, look at this. This is the history of planet Earth, you know? And we were, like, this tiny part of it towards the end. The yardstick or the meter stick, and there was all these different periods in between it, all the different extinctions that had happened. And I remember looking at it and thinking to myself, that's going to do a number on a person, you know?
Yeah,
because it was doing a number on me.
Think about that. There's species of dinosaurs that lived so far apart. Like the T-Rex is closer to the age of the smartphone than it is to another species of dinosaur.
See, that's
insane.
Does that help?
Just like does that sort of years help? In between,
you know?
I think it's cool.
Millions of years. Yep. Well, I know it is neat, and it's cool to learn like new things and different things, and even to hear like a theory that you might not have heard before. You know, like it all adds. It all adds to learning and kind of figuring out, like deciphering. You know, what is all this? You know,
It's kind of the same as like looking at like the James Webb pictures of like all the galaxies out there, and the Milky Way is a speck, and we are a speck on that speck.
Yeah, I like that. What was the one they sent up? It was the Hubble. They sent up back in the day that was sending back pictures. Like how accurate do you think the pictures are that we get?
I mean, I would think that they get more accurate as the time goes on. Like the James Webb ones are pretty insane.
Yeah, every other day, like there's a thing that says, "Look what we discovered. We didn't know it was there." Yeah.
Yeah, like some of the planets have rings that we didn't know had rings.
Yeah,
It's
and
cool.
what are these rings? Like ice a lot of the times, like rock.
Yeah, it's like stuff that gets into the orbit of the planet. I don't know. I could be talking complete rubbish right now, but I think it's like stuff that is inside its well of gravity, and so it creates an orbit around it.
It's really interesting. I mean, we have the Van Allen belt, right? And order for like the shuttle. Or thank you for listening to Navigating the Truth. If you would like to hear this interview in its entirety, please go to kcurradio.com, and I'll be back next week. Thank you.